Hello! If you're new here, welcome, and if you're not, welcome back to another video. In today's video, I'll be painting with gouache and try out some reference pictures I took myself, experimenting and have a bit of relaxing time. So if you are into that, stay along. So for today's art pieces, I wanted to just have a bit of fun and draw random things. So I thought to myself, what usually gives me the most satisfaction when I do, and I realized that could be still life or plein air, because they are just so low pressure and I can do whatever I want with the coloring. I don't know, for some reasons I think I have more liberty when it comes to still life pictures, especially those that I take myself, that I can mix and match, like different colors, different shapes, and it just gives me excitement, I think. So for the first piece, I placed a random object I could find around me, like it was on my desk, and I thought of different colors I could match together, like green and red. They are kind of like complementary colors, and not quite, but. And the candle holder, candle thingy, I made it myself, so I was honored to draw it actually. And I just went for it. So it was the lineup for the first piece, and I really quite like how the colors turn out at the end. And how I go for it, I started with a light wash all over the piece, just because if there is a color peeking through, I like it to be bright and gives variation, which I like and I do mostly. So I did that, although it was a very subtle color, but I think it helps. And I start with putting a very light wash of any colors at first, or I can say couple of layers, not layers, but couple of colors that I put down. It's pretty watery, just because I think I'm more comfortable with that, and I wanted to have different textures. And I really like these pieces. You can see the second one at the end, that they are very texture based. It didn't go as I planned initially, the texture, but I think that's an experiment, and that's how exciting it could even be, because it is so unpredictable. And what I mean by it didn't go as I thought or as I planned, I wanted the colors to be very blocky, and I didn't want it to have more or much of mixing or anything like that. So I wanted the colors to be blocky, and I just put them down and put another one, another layer, and all of that builds up the colors that I want. But since the colors, or since I put down very watery wash at first, second, or couple of layers, The colors are more of a blobby look than blocky. At the end, there are some blocks of colors which are thicker, but it's a mix. It is a mix, and the reason for that, I think, is because I'm not really patient with it. I use watercolors, but then I don't wait for it to dry, so it's mixed with another one, and yeah, it made the look that you can see. But I don't think that's a problem at all, because then I add some thicker colors and it is a mix, and I think it turned out okay and kind of fun looking. And as I said, I was looking for texture, and it's funny that it didn't become what I initially thought, but it turned out to be an okay texture, which is really fun with these pieces that I kind of experiment with. And I put my mind from the beginning that, okay, this is experiment. I get to experiment different things, and they usually turn out different than what I think. And that's very fun at the end. And I really like still life pictures to frame also. I was thinking that I want to do a small canvas or a frame that it is, some picture of a still life, but I'm thinking, should I do it with like a paper, that I do it with gouache, or do I do it on a canvas that I can do with acrylics? I don't know. And also, what kind of lineup of a still life do you think will be nice to draw? I would love to you guys let me know. I like a still life, but I don't know what kind of objects I can put out that it's kind of fun to draw. I know that I really like to draw some industrial things. That could be hard, but I think that could also be funny. Those are fun to draw, but I don't know how would the lineup be, or would it be nice to put or frame? So you guys let me know. So in this one, I think the star of the show is the bell pepper. Actually, it is this bright red, which I really like, and I think it just makes the piece really pop. And I think the bell pepper is the most blocky out of all of them. And I think the different wash and different thick layers of paint, they just went very well together. Or it may be the color that is just really bright and catches the eye most. And yeah, I really like that one. And as I pre-planned to just use blocky kind of texture, I also only used 2 kind of brushes. Both are flat brushes in different sizes, and I thought that I could really use that to my advantage. In some parts in the bell pepper that really worked really nice, but again, because I don't have the patience and I just put colors on colors when they're not completely dry, it lost shape here and there. But I think still that was a good choice to choose 2 different sizes of flat brushes. And for the background, as you can see, I put the pieces on my desk, which is the wooden desk. And I went for the overall tone of the wooden desk, and I didn't think much of the background really. I just wanted to be really loose and have some texture as always, and just be there. It gives it finished, unfinished, low poly kind of a look, and I really like it. So the end result was something like this. Tell me, what do you think of that? So to the next one. This piece was actually a pleinaire. I decided to do, I don't know exactly what pleinaire should be for. Is it just that you go outside and draw, or no, it is any nature photography that's considered pleinaire? I don't know, let me know. But there is this picture and photograph of this beautiful scene, which actually I took myself. We went on a family vacation and it was this beautiful scenery that I took a picture, and I really liked to draw it. Because again, I don't know why, but these simple things give me excitement and makes me want to draw something that I, haven't done in a long time, and I think that's cool. And basically how I did for this one is very similar to the other one. I first went with a wash of really colorful, bright color, just because if it peeks through, gives it kind of a whimsical look. You know what I mean? It makes it colorful and not just realistic, let's say. And I really like that. And as in for the first layers or couple of layers, I go with very washy color and I try to make some textures and brush stroke on the first go, on the first path of really watery color. And I did that for the foreground and the middle ground and as the background. And as the colors dry, or if I let them dry, then I go with another thicker layer of anything. It could be another texture layer, or in this case, for example, it was the cow's shadows. So those give it a different kind of texture, and I really like that. I was thinking that this is not at all how traditional gouache paintings I think look like. I don't know, but I think initially what they teach us in art schools or in any art institute, that okay, watercolor is very loose and it should be not opaque, watery and all of that, but gouache is the opposite of that. It's literally opaque watercolor, so it should be opaque and not washy. But I don't know who makes the rules. We can just, rules are there to break, yeah. So I really didn't or wasn't thinking of how I should put down gouache. Although I really enjoy the thick gouache pieces, you know me, I really like messy and thick strokes of gouache. That is just so satisfying. But we learn different things, we try different things, and I think that worked out in this piece quite well. So the first piece that I did actually is my most favorite one out of these two, because I don't know why, but I think that turned out better. Maybe it's a skill issue that when it comes to even illustrations and complete illustrations, or a scene like this that includes background, middle ground, and foreground, I don't think I can convey the values very nicely to separate these three different perspectives from each other. And it didn't turn out bad at all, but I think I should have considered maybe the atmosphere effect on the background, even though if you can't actually see in the photography. I don't know, I just obsess over them very much and it seems not to work out. But I think that is the reason I don't like this one as much as that one, just because maybe this is more complicated, or maybe I overthink it too much, I don't know. But overall, the goal of this session was just open my sketchbook, no plan, just draw and see what happens. And I think what happened was really a good accident and I really like the experiment. Overall, the process was also really relaxing. Not as relaxing as you would think, because art always has some complications to it. But overall, I think that was a success, and I recommend you guys to do the same. If you have some difficulties convincing yourself to try something new or try something harder in your skill set, maybe give yourself some excitement to do so, and I hope it'll work out for you. Thank you so much for watching today's video and staying with me. I hope you enjoyed your time here. Let me know in the comments what you think, and I hope to see you on the next one. Bye.